Hi, I'm T. Waldron, and today, in the third episode of Books and Bruise, we're going to hear from Greg Dillon, who wrote The Thin Blue Lie. He started a fugitive squad, and then we're going to hear all about what happened politically when he went up against the FBI. Enjoy this part of the interview.
Initially, it was just Steve Kumnick and I as the fugitive squad. The FBI in New Haven had a fugitive task force that they hosted. And that was comprised of some state troopers, a couple of city detectives, and several FBI agents. When they discovered that we were going to be doing the same work, they invited us to join forces, and Mr. Bailey, who was the chief state attorney, was infatuated with the FBI and loved the concept of it. So we were signed there. And then in time, as you mentioned, our fugitive squad grew and we added on members to the task force. Well, it was a home run initially because, they have a bottomless wallet when it comes to paying informants or, anything that we really need. Offices throughout the entire country, overseas. So no matter where our leads took us, there was always a way to get follow-up conducted. And that was the good news. The bad news was I didn't realize that they now were not motivated to make their statistics look as impressive as could be because of the fact that there's a financial incentive for agents that have impressive statistics. It compromised them, some of them ethically, because in their desire to have the best statistics, it clouded their judgment as to the ethical conduct of getting more federal warrants. It created a condition or an environment where they felt that they could falsify probable cause just to get the warrant approved by a federal judge, which increased their chances of either getting a financial incentive award or a quality step increase, which was a raise, or a letter of commendation from the director, which also included a bonus check. So it created a sort of a tempting but dangerous environment for them to inflate their statistics in an effort to make extra money. Well, my immediate supervisor was a chief inspector.
Okay.
And I brought to his attention. It was analysis paralysis.
Sure.
He didn't really know what to do. Yeah. He said he was going to bring it to the attention of the boss, which was the Chief State Attorney Bailey. 2 weeks went by, and we're working with the FBI, and I'm aware of the complaint that I've made, and I was very troubled by the circumstances. So I opted to initiate a meeting with Mr. Bailey by writing him a memo and saying, this is what I've discovered, and what do you expect us to do? So he had us removed from the task force, which was fine, because we continued to do our work and we were quite successful. Unfortunately, I didn't realize at that time that he was simultaneously trying to be hired by the Department of Justice in Washington, D.C., the Attorney General's office. He was vying for a position to run the criminal division. He knew that the FBI would have to do his background investigation. He knew that the U.S. Attorney's office would have to recommend him, and he wanted to be on good terms with both. So unfortunately, that clouded his judgment, I'm sure. He elected to disband us in total, trying to use the very weak justification that we had run out of funding, which I knew for a fact was a lie because I knew that we were funded throughout that fiscal year and through the following fiscal year because I was part of the budget process. No other unit or department in the Criminal Justice Division was affected by this lack of funding, only the 6 of us. So I smelled a rat right away, and we found ourselves all assigned to various courthouses throughout the state. Wow. And ironically, I found myself assigned to the furthest courthouse out in Litchfield.
Cheers, everybody. Wasn't that wild? So I hope you enjoyed that. From myself to yourself, thanks for joining me on this journey, and tune in for the next episode, coming soon.